This is Press Play Northwest Radio. I'm Bruce Poinsett.
And I'm Donovan Smith.
And you're tuned into the official radio show of Press Play Northwest, your destination for deep dives into Northwest hip-hop's most provocative visuals. Join us live on Zoom, where we give you music video screenings, facilitated discussions, and exclusive interviews and audience Q&A with local artists. We're working on something special for August, so stay tuned.
Also, be on the lookout for updates from Press Play Northwest. You can do that by following the hashtag PressPlayNW. For now, though, let's get into some music. Up next, we've got Like a Flip by Carmel Rivera. And then we'll get into a clip from our exclusive interview with Rashid Jamal from the live show of Press Play Northwest, where he'll talk a little bit about the reception of his music video from several years ago, Love is the Highest Religion, and how that ties into Charlottesville, and just kind of his thoughts on prophecy. Again, you're tuned in to Press Play Northwest Radio.
Looking like a flip. They know I got the juice, they just wanna sip. Since my early youth, I knew I was the shit. Still vibing with the ones that I started with. Yo, make room for the best up. I got them lined up like a fresh cut. Y'all time's up, I'm next up. New shit to impress us. Kyrie with the handle. If I ever wanna handle anybody tryna press us, and don't you test me, don't you test me. Try to block my shot, I'm posting up like Lisa Leslie. Know I got the arsenal, if I catch him talking messy. See me in them hockey jerseys, how I think I'm Gretzky. And nowadays I got the city on 10 now. My peer group all wanna play pretend now. You need a hit, I'm who they recommend now. Old flames wanna be the juice to my gen now. Never home, but I still act like a homebody. I think it's clear that really I don't fuck with nobody. I'm killing every show and I ain't catching nobody's. I'm always on my job and y'all be acting like Tommy. I'm looking like a flip, looking like a flip. You thought you had a shot, you looking like a brick. Don't try to play it off, don't play hard to get. You get a verse from me, it's looking like a hit. Looking like a flip, looking like a flip. They know I got the juice, they just wanna sip. Since my early youth, I knew I was the shit. Still vibing with the ones that I started with. Y'all make it hard for me to be the humble type. I only get to do this if I stay up overnight. I'm not an evil oversight, my style these rappers overbite. Every time I make a good impression, never overhype. Shorty shaped like an A with the 4C head type. Ain't gotta do the math to know her slay game ain't a fair fight. Ooh, got this style with attitude to make me want it more. Put up in the 98, 94, coming with the bars while I'm posted on the bar stool. This is my lane and nah, this is not a carpool. We do it for a check while y'all do it for exposure. The type to bust it open and leave you with no closure. Never home, but I still act like a homebody. I think it's clear that really I don't fuck with nobody. I'm killing every show and I ain't catching nobody's. I'm always on my job and y'all be acting like Tommy. I'm looking like a flip, looking like a flip. You thought you had a shot, you looking like a brick. Don't try to play it off, don't play hard to get. You get a verse from me, it's looking like a hit.
You put out like Charlottesville happened, and then, again, like this kind of like this, I don't know, this engagement with like a lot of the art now that kind of came out before, but people kind of like finding it just because of like the times and everything. Like, you just talk a little bit about, I guess, like the reception.
I think it's kind of the same, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a hermit, bro. So like, I really don't really pay attention to it like that, to be honest with you. Like, I just make music and like, but something that I've recognized is like, I tagged you in a video that I posted on here like 11 years ago. And one of my partners had hit me up like yesterday. And he was like, hey man, he was like, shit, you was ahead of your time on this one. And I went back and listened to it. And it's like, it's a gift and a curse that I have, that it's a lot of music that I've made since, you know, I was in my early 20s that don't make no sense till now. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of feel the same way about a lot of stuff, like with Elijah Project that's getting ready to come out. A lot of those songs we did quite some time ago, but it's everything that's pertinent to right now. And I think it's because it's rooted in a certain level of knowledge of self, and it's rooted in a certain level of like understanding the community. Man, just, you know, just knowing what's going on. Mm-hmm. Really is knowing what's going on, you know.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm curious, a lot of your projects have religious themes or religious music, or like especially this next video that we're about to watch, but you said your next project is the Elijah Project, and kind of what you're talking about is prophecy, being a prophet, having a prophetic voice, having a vision. Can you speak a little bit about kind of your spiritual life and how you think that impacts your music and what you have to say?
I think all of life is spiritual, honestly. I don't think it's like really an aspect of life that's not spiritual. Even the dirty stuff you do, Bruce, my bad. Even the dirty stuff you do, you know what I mean? Like, I cuss a lot. Sorry. I read somewhere that means you're honest when you cuss a lot. I know liars that cuss a lot. But I grew up in like Southern Baptist, but I got exposed to a lot of stuff, and my family I didn't have parents that like kept me from reading about different religions and stuff like that when I was a kid. Like, they let me explore, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I spent a lot of time by myself. So like, I always felt like I had an imaginary friend. So my imaginary friend blended in with everybody else's. You know, I just really wanted to figure out, you know, the origin of things and understand how things started. And, you know, a lot of times in my mind, the origin of things, even existence, like it takes up a large space in my mind, and just me trying to figure that out, and just understanding that, you know, it's certain things that went on in my life where it's like, I didn't have to be the one that made it out, you know, of a situation. I didn't have to be the one that survived or didn't go through this, or, you know, this was a heartbreaking situation, but it actually saved me from a harder life than what I would have had. And I don't take that type of stuff for granted. You know, so in the context of like prophecy and stuff, I spend a lot of time reading about stuff, and I feel like I pick up on stuff naturally that maybe other people don't. And I don't abuse it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have dreams about stuff, or I might get certain urges, or, man, me and Duke, bro, we had so many conversations where we'll literally talk about what's getting ready to happen in the world. And like the next week, some article will come out, or it's on the fly. So it's definitely there, and it's a shared experience. You know what I'm saying?
You just heard Like a Flip by Karma Rivera, and a clip from our exclusive interview with Rashid Jamal. This is Press Play Northwest Radio. We want to take a minute to remind you that if you haven't yet signed up for the 2020 census, please do that now. The census determines where vital public resources, i.e. the resources you already pay for with your tax dollars, get distributed, and Black and brown communities are notoriously undercounted. To put things in perspective, every person counted is worth an estimated $3,200. Pledging takes very little time and goes a long way to ensuring your community has what it needs between now and the next census in 2030. You can pledge to take the census by texting Oregon to 33339. Once again, that's Oregon, OREGON, to 33339. For more information, visit WeCountOregon.com.
All right, and now we want to give you your Northwest Hip Hop updates. PDX Hip Hop Week is close to being underway. The PDX Hip Hop Awards have just been announced by them, or rather the Star Awards that they give out. And so a lot of people got nominated, and it got narrowed down. They've got 4 different categories, and Good Hands Awards, Unsung Hero, Legends, Honors, Trailblazer, and Star Awards. That's actually 5. Star Awards meaning after Star Child, of course. And so Max Smith, Andre Middleton, and Damian Lillard won the Star Awards. But you can find the rest of the winners in the other categories on PDX Hip Hop Week's Instagram. That's at PDX Hip Hop Week. Also, Swiggle Mandela, he has a new burger in collaboration with the restaurant Pastas. It's called the Swiggle Burger. You can find that at 3441 North Vancouver Avenue. He also has a new video coming out for his song Dear Portland Police off of his new album Portland Amsterdam. So be sure to check both of those things out. Also, you might have heard Friends of Noise, which is actually ran by Andre Middleton. They were pushing to get some of the CARES money that's being released by the federal government to be invested into a Black, Indigenous, people of color, quote unquote, led youth music venue. City Council did not take that petition because they said you can't use money like that for new projects or new venues like that. But be sure to keep following Friends of Noise for more updates because they've been trying to acquire property for a venue for some time now. And they're really close to having a property that's right off of 74th and Gleason at the old TBN station, I believe that is. So be on the lookout.
Yep. And now we got some more music for you. Up next is Reach for the Stars, a tribute to Star Child by Champagne Dwayne. And we got some more from our interview with Rashid Jamal talking about his latest video, Urban Decay 2. You're tuned into Press Play Northwest Radio. Be back in a bit.
One time for the big homie. 2 times for the big homie. Johnny Cool on the beat. Yours truly. You already know me. PDX on the love. Inspiration from up above. Rest in power, my brother. If you love him, yeah. Now reach for the. I said reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. Reach for the. I said reach for the stars. Reach for the. They say the real ones never really die. And I believe it, I can see it in their eyes. From all the evenings we've been pleading to the skies, searching for reasons like we really need a why. We need a how, we need a win. Dog, we need you now, just like we needed you then. And no doubt, we repping you to the end. And Lord willing, we bound to see you again. My friend, you are a diamond. You lit up the whole room. Look, now the roses are full bloom. It's a pity you had to go so soon. Kick game proper, who filling up your shoes? Not a soul, not a soul. We could only stand the rain cause you was the pot of gold. A heart of gold, you still the heart and soul. You still hold the crown, boy, still run the town, boy. So strong, you was a diamond in disguise. So long like you were diamond in the sky. Prolong the pain like I am in the Nile. But I pull on and hold it higher for the child. You made a blazer hat, more famous than a blazer can. I'm talking Dame and them. You did it major, fam, and I'm a major fan. So I'ma raise a hand and reach for the. And reach for the. And reach for the stars. And reach for the stars. And reach for the. And reach for the. And reach for the stars. And reach for the stars. And reach for the. And reach for the. And reach for the stars. And reach for the stars. And reach for the.
Shining clear and clean, it shows who we are, what our lives can mean.
Now can I get an encore? Do you want more? Let one pour for that Portland boy. So for one last time, I need y'all to reach for the. And reach for the. And reach for the stars, and reach for the stars, and reach for the, and reach for the, and reach for the stars, and reach for the stars, and reach for the, and reach for the, and reach for the stars, and reach for the stars, and reach for the.
So this is Press Play Northwest. We just watched Urban Decay 2 by Rashid Jamal featuring Duke the Genius. Yeah, this is a where to begin. I guess we'll just start with the beginning of the video. As far as like that, I think, yeah, what kind of stood out to me, one was like a lot of the scene changes, but we can just start with the first part. As far as the choice of, you know, kind of this like back from the dead depiction, can you just talk about the significance of that? Oh, you're on mute.
You gotta take it off mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. So the video was directed by Sina Haddad, and it was shot by Muhammad Al-Qaeda. Sina, in his direction, he wanted to really show what urban decay looks like. You know, and decay is, you know, once you're dead, you're decaying, right? So me coming back from the dead was me being a part of a dead world. And then as the video progresses, we go from pretty much waking up from the dead in a world that's dead in this early morning, cold outside kind of feel. And we end up in nature, you know? And that was kind of the progression of the video as it went through. We had a lot of symbology in there, but I think they kind of came from the hook.
Yeah, so with that like progression, it talks about start kind of like waking up, kind of goes into sort of like the church, goes, you know, to the street, to like this backdrop of just like all this different like imagery. Yeah, you just talk a little bit about, you know, some of the stuff, you know, I think a lot of us seen before. I mean, it's like at one point it was like a Flintstones clip, I'm pretty sure. But
yeah. So on that last part, Sina actually pulled off something that I always wanted to do, which was to have that background to where you can actually see what I'm saying. Because I know I rap pretty rapid fire most of the time, and a lot of stuff can get lost in translation. And what he did was he went out and he found images that matched what I was saying pretty well, so that you can see these people's faces or certain things pop up. I think the Flintstones clip, like he was actually smoking. I think Fred Flintstone was like hitting the joint. I don't know what episode that was, but you know, it just kind of showed like this kind of this abstract juxtaposition to something that's, you know, a very hard topic, but then you have certain things, even 40-year-old virgin in there, like putting it on a pedestal. Like, you know, that line being able to get put in there like that was, you know, I think it just made the video funnier, you know what I mean? But then there's other pieces in there where, you know, it's actually showing what, you know, Sojourner Truth looks like. It's actually showing what Harriet Tubman looked like. It's actually showing what, you know, the depiction of the captives on the Amistad look like from the movie. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of speaking on those undercurrents of things and kind of giving people a real visual of what's being communicated, you know, because sometimes that stuff can get lost in translation.
This is Press Play Northwest Radio. You just heard Reach for the Stars by Champagne Dwayne and a clip from the Press Play Northwest live show with Rashid Jamal breaking down his newest visual, Urban Decay 2, from one of his latest albums, 22 Grams. You know, pick up all 3, 4, 7 other of them had Bandcamp. Anyways, we want to get into the Rebellion report this week.
Yeah, so we wanted to kick off with a little bit of a correction. As some of you all might know, we record these things before Wednesday. And so by the time that we had did last week's show, reporting on the Don't Shoot taking over Moms and Riot Ribs, things had changed by that time. So Don't Shoot did not have control of Moms. They had control of the Facebook page. That was something that was kind of being misreported at large. And so that group is no longer working with Don't Shoot, but there is a new moms group called Black Moms United for Black Lives that is doing similar work that is dedicated to Black folks. And then Riot Ribs also had leaned into Don't Shoot, and they're still working with each other, but Riot Ribs itself actually has disbanded because of some internal conflicts, but is planning to come back. So be on the lookout for both of those Blacks, Moms United for Black Lives, and then Riot Ribs, excuse me. The federal troops that have been in Portland for the last week plus have actually withdrawn finally, just due to the work that people have been applying. The pressure that people have been applying. So now it's back to your regularly scheduled Portland police beatings. Also, Portland Mercury, speaking of Portland Police Bureau and the federal troops, just did an article that a number of women who've been down there at the protests and been subject to tear gas have had irregular cycles. I talked about it a little bit on this show that people have said what the feds were using felt particularly stronger, but again, there is research that is out there that says how bad this tear gas stuff is. You can read the report that Don't Shoot Portland has on their website to find out a little bit more, or you can check out this Portland Mercury account and kind of see for yourself. To that same end, the Bureau of Environmental Services through the city of Portland is investigating what impact that this tear gas actually had on the environment here in Portland, especially the tear gas that the feds were using, and seeing if there might be an actual price to pay on that end. So again, this tear gas stuff is terrible, and it's just doing great damage. So more to come on all of these fronts. Also, Green in the Hood PDX, which is ran by Laquita Lanford, has been putting in like some serious groundwork around her Afro Village concept for getting direct services to black people experiencing houselessness right now. So she's down there at Floyd's Coffee Shop in downtown Portland, delivering direct services, showers for people, lockers for people in Old Town, and just making sure that they kind of get what they need on the ground. So be sure to tap in with Green in the Hood PDX / Laquita Lanford. Also, you may have seen the woman who got naked and was down there at the protests. A lot of news that went viral. A lot of people have commentary on it. Mitchell S. Jackson, who's from the city, of course, just put out a New York Times piece called Who Gets to Be Naked Athena? That's the nickname that they've been giving this woman. So check that out. I haven't got a chance to read it myself, but I'm looking forward to reading it. And then finally, just wanted to give a reminder that we do have a special election coming up here in the city of Portland. I know a lot of people, including myself, have our eyes peeled for November 3rd. And the major election that's happening nationally, but Loretta Smith and Dan Ryan are going into a runoff on August 11th for the commissioner seat that was left vacant by Nick Fish after he passed earlier this year from cancer. There's a number of bureaus that this seat will be in charge of, some major ones including Portland Parks and the Bureau of Environmental Services, which I named earlier. So yeah, be sure to get your ballot in. You can vote from home. You can go down to the Multnomah County Elections Office to get your ballot if you don't have one. I've had to do that myself. Yeah, just be sure to tap in and vote.
Yeah. So that's our show for tonight. Tune in here every week at 5 and keep your eyes and ears open for all the latest updates from Press Play Northwest. As for tonight, we have one more song for you. This is Changes by Anthony Danza. I'm Bruce Poinsett.
And I'm Donovan Smith. And thanks for tuning in, and make sure to stay tuned for all the latest updates from Press Play Northwest. Because honestly, where else are you going to go?
Before I knew anything about catching knocks, my mama bought me them J's but had no matching socks. Growing up I was the oldest of 3, plus my cousin Josh. My auntie was sick on dope, so she stayed with us a lot. I remember me praying to God why she couldn't stop, praying that she would stop running, like why she couldn't walk. Watching your family struggle, gotta block it out like Rodman. We stuck together like them noodles in that ramen. Listen, Nana stayed off 83rd. I get hit popsicle Joe from a mile away. I don't care what you heard. Pulled out my boombox to every curve. Talking shit, sticks and stones break your bone, bone like I knew every word. Hell yeah, we threw it up and one hoop it up. Ballin' till the lights turned off. That's all we knew until we blazed it up. Hot box, we blew it up. Pops found the switches in the house. Yeah, my ass, he chopped and screwed it up. Me and my brother, we don't look alike, but that's my brother. And about my brother, we gon' have to fight. Wrong or right, that's my family, you don't want no problems. We stuck together like them noodles in that ramen.